I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer truthfully even if the answer scares you. Do you really want your life to change? Before you say, "Of course I do," stop. Think. Because if you truly wanted it, with all the consequences that change brings, why do you continue doing the same things, repeating the same patterns, making the same decisions that lead you to the same place? You pray asking for transformation, and then return to the same routine. You say you want financial freedom and continue with the same behavior regarding money. You say you want a different relationship and continue choosing the same type of person. You say you want purpose and continue filling your time with things you know lead you nowhere. If you are over 35 and recognized yourself in at least one of these sentences, then I need to show you something that perhaps no one has had the courage to tell you. The greatest obstacle between you and the life you say you want is not outside of you. It is inside, and it has a name. It is called unconscious resistance, and it is so sophisticated that it convinces you that you are trying to change while beneath the surface, it is doing everything so that nothing changes. Stay with me until the end of this video, because in the second half I am going to reveal something that will shock you. There is a hidden benefit in remaining where you are, and until you identify what that benefit is, no prayer, no effort, no technique will move you. It is this hidden benefit that feeds the resistance, and when it is brought to the light, the cycle breaks. Let us begin with the mechanism. Researchers from the University of São Paulo at the Center for Research in Neuroscience Applied to Behavior documented a phenomenon they call identity homeostasis. It works like this. The human brain is designed to maintain stability, not just physical stability, temperature, pressure, heartbeat, but identity stability. The brain creates a model of who you are based on years of repetition, how you react, what you believe, what you expect from life, what kind of person you consider yourself to be.
Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life, a guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming, with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10,000 readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who were tired of living in the fog, ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.
And this model becomes the equilibrium point. Anything that threatens to shift this balance, including positive changes, is interpreted by the nervous system as a threat, and the brain responds the only way it knows how. It pulls you back to the pattern. This explains something that has probably already happened to you. You start a diet, and after 2 weeks of progress, you eat compulsively. You start a business, and when the first results appear, you find a reason to give up. You meet someone who treats you well, and instead of opening up, you create distance. The saboteur is not a lack of discipline. It is the internal thermostat that detected a change in temperature and activated the mechanism to return to the equilibrium point. And the most disturbing part, this mechanism operates below consciousness. You do not decide to sabotage. You catch yourself having already sabotaged. The Central Bank of Brazil regularly publishes data on debt and the financial behavior of Brazilians. The most recent figures show that an alarming proportion of Brazilian families are in debt, and among adults over 35, the most common pattern is not debt due to unexpected events, illness, unemployment, but debt due to the repetition of financial behaviors that the person knows are harmful. They know, yet they repeat. The research classifies this as inertial financial behavior. Inertia. The body is moving in the same direction, and any attempt to change the route requires a force that the system resists producing. And if this happens with money, something visible, measurable, concrete, Imagine what happens with emotional, relational, and spiritual patterns that cannot even be placed on a spreadsheet. And it is here that I must take you to one of the most disturbing and misunderstood scenes in the entire Bible. Because what neuroscience describes as identity homeostasis, the biblical narrative illustrated over 3,000 years ago with brutal honesty. The Israelites were in the desert. They had just been liberated from slavery in Egypt. They had seen the 10 plagues. They had crossed the Red Sea on dry land. They had seen the most powerful army in the world swallowed by the waters behind them. Freedom, miracle, deliverance. And what did they do? Numbers 11, verse 5. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. At no cost. The word used in Hebrew is chinam. They said they ate for free, they were slaves. They worked under the whip making bricks under the Egyptian sun. Nothing was for free. But memory did something that memory always does when the present is uncomfortable. It edited the past. It took away the whip. It took away the mud. It took away the pain. And it left the cucumbers, the melons, and the garlic. Slavery became fragrant in memory, while freedom, full of uncertainty and discomfort, became unbearable. This is identity homeostasis operating on a collective scale. The people preferred the stability of slavery to the instability of freedom. Because slavery, however brutal it was known. It had routine, it had predictability, it had meals, even if it cost their dignity. And freedom in the desert was unknown. It had no map, it had no guarantee. It had manna, but manna was new, and the new is more frightening than the familiar, even when the familiar is a prison. The Hebrew word that describes what the Israelites did in the desert is lun. Lun means to murmur, to complain, but with a specific connotation. It is the complaint of someone looking backward. It is not the complaint of someone facing the present and saying, "This is difficult, how do I solve it?" It is the complaint of someone saying, "It was better before." Lun is the sound of resistance to transformation. It is the noise the system makes when it is trying to pull you back to the previous equilibrium point. And if you pay attention, you will realize you do lun every day. Every time you romanticize a phase of life that was actually painful. Every time you look back and think, at least back then, I knew who I was. Every time the uncertainty of the new makes the old seem better than it really was. If this content is confronting you in a way that other videos have not, I need to ask you to subscribe now and activate the bell. Because what we build here is a progressive mirror. Each video reflects a deeper layer, and this mirror only works if you are present in each reflection. Subscribe and stay. Now I need to take you to the deepest layer. Because I showed you that the brain resists change and that the Israelites preferred Egypt. But now, I need to show you the root of the root, the hidden benefit of staying where you are. Because no one remains in a destructive pattern without gaining something from it, and this gain is so well disguised that the person swears it does not exist. In John 5, verses 2 through 9, we find a scene that should disturb anyone who claims to want change. Jesus is in Jerusalem, beside a pool called Bethesda. In Hebrew, Bet Chesda means house of mercy, or house of grace. Around this pool was a great number of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, waiting for the water to move, because they believed an angel descended periodically and stirred the water, and the first to enter after the stirring was healed. In the midst of this crowd, Jesus finds a man who had been there for 38 years paralyzed beside a pool of healing. And Jesus asks him the strangest question in the Gospels: do you want to be healed? In Greek, theleis haigis genestai. Theleis is the second person of thelo, which means to want, to desire, to be willing. But thelo is not a passive wanting. It is a wanting that implies active will, a readiness for the consequences of what is asked. Jesus did not ask, would you like to be healed? He asked, do you want, with all the implication, with all the cost, with all the change this will require of your life, to be healed? And notice the man's response. He did not say yes. He did not say, of course I do. I've been here for 38 years. He gave an excuse. Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I am going, someone else steps down ahead of me. 38 years giving the same excuse, 38 years explaining why healing has not arrived, and the excuse, however legitimate it seemed, hid something that no one around that pool dared to say out loud. Being sick had benefits. I know this sounds brutal, but think with me. That man paralyzed beside the pool was cared for by someone. He received attention. He had a defined place, his mat beside the water. He had a clear identity, the sick man of Bethesda. Everyone knew who he was, and being healed would mean losing all of that. It would mean getting up, walking, and facing a world he had not known for nearly 4 decades. It would mean having no more excuses. It would mean being responsible for himself. Paralysis was his pain, but it was also his protection. The Getulio Vargas Foundation published a study on patterns of permanence in unsatisfactory jobs among Brazilian professionals over 40. The most revealing conclusion was not about those who stayed. It was about what kept them there. Researchers identified what they called secondary gains of dissatisfaction. These are indirect benefits a person obtains by remaining in a situation they consciously say they want to leave. Examples: the predictability of routine, a consolidated professional identity, protection against the risk of failing at something new, the sympathy and support received for being in a difficult situation, the right to complain without the obligation to act. These gains are not conscious. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, "I will continue to be unhappy because it is more convenient." But the system operates silently, efficiently, relentlessly. Now I need you to perform an exercise in radical honesty. Think of that pattern in your life that you have said you wanted to change for years, and that does not change. It could be financial, relational, professional, spiritual, and ask, what do I gain by staying where I am? Not what I lose, what I gain. Because if there were no gain, you would have already left. Staying has a payment, and until that payment is identified and consciously refused, no change sustains itself. You will try, you will move forward 2 steps, and the thermostat will pull you back to the pool, back to Egypt, back to the cucumbers and melons of fragrant slavery. If this video is revealing something you have never seen so clearly, leave your like now, because this content needs to reach people who have been beside the pool for years, giving the same excuse, without realizing that the question is not, why does healing not come? The question is, do I really want to be healed? Your like can put this question before someone who needs to hear it for the first time. Now comes the part that changes everything, because I showed you the mechanism of resistance and the hidden benefit. But now I need to show you how the cycle is broken, and the breaking begins with a gesture that seems simple, but requires everything from you. To understand this gesture, I need to tell you the story of Bartimaeus. In Mark 10, verses 46 through 52, Jesus is leaving Jericho with his disciples and a large crowd, and by the roadside is Bartimaeus, blind, begging for alms. When he hears that it is Jesus passing by, he begins to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." The Greek word that Mark uses for Bartimaeus' cry is krazo. Krazo is not asking politely. Krazo is the cry that tears. It is the sound that comes out when necessity surpasses decorum. It is the voice of someone who has decided they will not lose this opportunity for fear of appearing inconvenient. And the crowd told him to be quiet. Notice this. The crowd, the system, the environment, the people around tried to silence him. Be quiet, don't make a scene, know your place. But Bartimaeus shouted louder, much more. The text uses the expression polo malon, which means much more intensely. The resistance of the environment did not silence him. It intensified the cry. And when Jesus stopped and ordered him to be called, the text says something that is easy to miss, but contains the key to all transformation. Bartimaeus, throwing off his cloak, jumped up and came to Jesus. The cloak. In Greek, hymation. For a blind beggar in the ancient world, the hymation was everything. It was a blanket at night. It was protection against the sun during the day. It was the cloth spread on the ground where the coins of those who had mercy fell. It was identity. It was survival. It was the object that defined his position in the world. I am the blind man who begs, and this is my cloak. And Bartimaeus threw it away, before being healed, before knowing if Jesus would say yes, before having any guarantee that life would change. He got rid of the object that sustained the old identity as a condition for accessing the new one. He did not wait for the healing to drop the cloak. He dropped the cloak as a declaration that he no longer belonged to that identity. He dropped the secondary gain, the protection, the predictability, the definition, before having the guarantee of what would come next. And when Jesus asked, "What do you want me to do for you?" in Greek, "Tisoi theles poieso," Bartimaeus gave no excuse. He did not say, "I have no one to help me," like the paralytic of Bethesda. He said with surgical clarity, "Master, let me see again." Rabboni hina anablepso. Hina marks intention. Anablepso means to look up, to recover sight. Bartimaeus knew exactly what he wanted, and he knew before asking. The excuse is the language of those who are not ready. Clarity is the language of those who are. The difference between the paralytic of Bethesda and Bartimaeus is the difference between wanting to change and being ready for the consequences of change. Both were sick. Both were before Jesus. Both heard the question. But one gave an excuse and the other threw away his cloak. One waited for someone to carry him to the pool and the other jumped up. The difference is not one of merit. It is of disposition. Researchers from the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology published a series of studies on what they call irreversible behavioral commitment. The central discovery is that the success rate in change processes increases dramatically when the person performs a concrete act that makes going back more difficult, not impossible but costly. Throwing the cloak away is exactly that. It is an act that communicates to the brain. The equilibrium point has shifted. There is no cloak to go back to. The thermostat needs to readjust. And when the thermostat readjusts, the energy that was spent maintaining the old pattern becomes available to build the new one. The Federal University of Santa Catarina, in the Department of Social and Work Psychology, conducted research with Brazilians who went through significant life transitions and identified that those who performed what researchers call acts of symbolic rupture, concrete gestures that mark the end of the previous cycle, such as returning an object, leaving a group, changing a visible habit, had consistently better results than those who tried to change from within without any corresponding external act. The symbolic act functions as a neurological anchor. It marks in the body and in memory the exact moment when the old ended and the new began. Now I need to give you the complete process. 3 movements in sequence. The first, identify the secondary gain. Ask with brutality, what do I gain by staying where I am? Write the answer. Do not just think about it. Write it, because the act of writing forces the consciousness to name what was operating in the dark. Perhaps the gain is protection against failure. Perhaps it is the victim identity that guarantees you compassion. Perhaps it is the predictability of a routine that at least does not require courage. Whatever it is, write it. Because what is not named continues to control you. The second, ask the Bethesda question to yourself. Thelius, do you want it? Not it would be nice, not it would be good. Do you want it with all the implication, with all the cost, with all the loss of secondary gain that it implies? Because if the answer is yes, it must be a yes that includes the loss. A yes that knows the cloak will be thrown away. A yes that accepts that Egypt with its cucumbers and melons is left behind and that the desert with its strange manna and its daily uncertainty is the way. The third, perform an act of rupture. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today. It can be small, it can be symbolic, but it must be concrete. A conversation you are postponing, a decision that is shelved, a habit you know sustains the old pattern and needs to be interrupted. Bartimaeus threw the cloak. What is your cloak? And when will you throw it? I need you to do something now. Go to the comments and write the word want. In capital letters, want. This word is the answer the paralytic of Bethesda did not give. It is what Bartimaeus said with his body when he threw away the hymation. It is the opposite of lun, of the murmuring that looks back and romanticizes Egypt. Want is the sound of someone looking forward and accepting the price. Write want. I want to close with the 2 scenes side by side. On one side, the pool of Bethesda, a man lying there for 38 years. The water moves, he does not. Someone asks, "Do you want to be healed?" And he responds with an excuse. On the other side, the road to Jericho. A blind man by the wayside. He hears that Jesus is passing. He shouts. The crowd tells him to be quiet. He shouts louder. He is called. He throws his cloak away. He jumps up. And when he hears, "What do you want?" he responds without hesitation, "Let me see again." Both scenes have the same starting point. A person trapped, limited, who finds the opportunity for change. The difference lies entirely in the response. The paralytic looked at the conditions. Bartimaeus looked at the possibility. The paralytic listed what he did not have. Bartimaeus declared what he wanted. The paralytic waited for someone to carry him. Bartimaeus stood up on his own. I do not know in which of the two you recognize yourself at this moment. Perhaps you are between the two. Perhaps you are lying beside the pool wanting to be Bartimaeus, but not knowing how to throw the cloak. And that is okay. Because the distance between the pool and the road is not measured in miles. It is measured in decision. Thelis, do you want it? If the answer is yes, stop making excuses. Throw the cloak, stand up. And when the question comes, and it will come, respond with the same clarity as Bartimaeus. Let me see again. If this video reached you in a way that stays with you, share it now with someone who is lying beside the pool. Someone who has been there for years, giving the same excuses, waiting for someone to carry them. Sometimes the most liberating question a person can receive is not, "How can I help you?" It is, "Do you really want to be healed?" And activate the notification bell, because in the next video I will reveal what happens in the first hours after you throw the cloak away. There is a reaction the system produces immediately after the act of rupture, a wave of fear, of regret, of wanting to run back and pick the cloak up. And if you do not know what is happening, you will think you made a mistake. You did not. It is the thermostat trying to pull you back one last time. I will teach you how to cross that wave. Do not miss it. The pool is there, the road is there, the question has already been asked. Thelis, do you want it? Answer, and throw the cloak.
Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life, a guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming, with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10,000 readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you, who were tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.